do it again, Chris. We are back. Hope everyone is having a fantastic Memorial Day weekend. Nice little extended weekend for a much bigger reason. Obviously, Memorial Day weekend extremely important. I want to thank all of our veterans and just everybody. Most people have somebody that they're remembering this weekend. I hope while everybody's out partying and enjoying it, you remember what it's about. But that aside, Memorial Day weekend. It's been fun, but there's been some crazy things going on right now. The most annoying of them is that the Boston Celtics have somehow cut the 3-0 deficit down and forced a game seven. Chris, I'm not happy.
I know. I know. I saw it firsthand, and I'm so sorry. But at the end of the day, what's
Are you?
happening is pretty amazing. No, no, of course I'm not. It was good to see you this weekend, but under better circumstances. At least I think what's kind of cool is this next game tomorrow, must watch for multiple reasons. It could either be really, really cool that Boston came back from 0-3, or there could be an 8 seed in the NBA Finals. So either way it goes, it's going to be a fun game. I took the over because I don't want to root for either side. I just want to root for a good game, just like we saw last game, which was absolutely absurd. So one of those where were you when you were watching that game type of moments, kind of like the Kawhi shot in the finals. It was pretty cool to see Derek White hit that with point 0.2 left.
It was not cool whatsoever.
Spencer Yance.
I'm convinced the refs put on just a couple extra seconds there to screw the Heat over, force a game seven. I mean, who's happier than Adam Silver in the NBA right now? No, nobody.
He's
I
got to
mean,
be
aside from
thrilled.
Boston fans, this is what they needed. There was good. There was everybody was talking about. Oh, there might be 10 days until the finals. They sweep. Blah blah blah. Obviously, you don't have to worry about that now. You got 3 extra games, all that revenue coming in, and people are watching, people are enjoying. But yeah, I can't believe that tip came. When it first happened, I was convinced. I was convinced the time was over. It was up. But on the replay, it was clear right away that he clearly got it off with like what, point two, point one.
It was point 0.2. Yeah, it was incredible. It was a lot of fun. You're right. The NBA has got to be pumped because you got the Vanilla Nuggets sitting over there who probably didn't want in over the Lakers or Golden State or anybody else in the playoffs there. So you got to hope for one of these two fan bases to be super energized going into the NBA Finals if you're the league. But yeah, no, what a blast, man. I mean, I'm sorry you lost a couple of things there. You got me. You told me to take the what was it, the Heat money line, to take the Heat plus 3.5 because I didn't trust you, and it worked out. So
Don't
thanks.
trust me. I
No,
think that's the important message here. Don't trust me.
exactly. Yes, 100%.
I mean, I was in between just going all in on the Heat and doing the emotional hedge, taking Celtics series line.
Classic.
That's what I should have done. I'd be a little happier right now, but I didn't. I was like, nah, this ain't happening. The Heat are going to shut it down. And you know why? I was convinced Jimmy Butler, playoff Jimmy, Himmy, he was going to show up. Didn't show up at
It's
all.
not a flip you can switch, I don't think. I mean, he's got the mentality, he's got it, but sometimes shots don't drop. Steph doesn't make every shot. So, you're bound to have a cold stretch from him, and you're sitting there like, "Where are you, Jimmy? Where are you?" I was like, "He's right there. He's
No,
right
but that
there."
that wasn't Jimmy. That wasn't Himmy. That was
Well, he turned it on it right when they needed it, made it a game. It was actually close at some point towards the end there, and ended up being a great finish. And it might not have been if he didn't turn it on. So yeah, it was
yeah.
a great it was
No,
a great
no,
game.
that's fair. But I mean, 24% from the field. He did his work from the free throw line, 12 for 14, 2 for 4 from three. But I mean, he couldn't hit anything else. 5 for 21 from the field. 11 rebounds, 8 assists. Look, I'm not gonna knock the guy, but he's earned this rep. Playoff Jimmy. Everybody, we fawned over him last week. Where everybody's loving it. Now this is go time. Game seven to prove that you came out and said we're gonna win the series after you went, the 3-0 lead was cut to 3-2. You better step up.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get one of two games tomorrow. We're either gonna get a let them play game by the refs, or we're gonna get a ton of fouls. So I think it's gonna be one and the same. And I think if there's a ton of fouls, the Celtics win it handily. I think if it's a let it play game, I think the Heat's defense steps up and it's a lot closer than we expect. Otherwise, I think the Celtics are favored by 7.5 right now. Not touching that, but I'll take over 203.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I I told you what I did. I went ahead and just took the Celtics Nuggets series, which Celtics to win a series against the Nuggets. So it's void if they don't win, and then I'm happy either way. And if they do win, then ultimately if the Celtics somehow win and upset the Nuggets, I'll have some money in my pocket at least.
Do you
I'll
think
be
that's
no
going to happen though? Are you going to bet against the Nuggets like this,
no,
even
I
like a game
really
in
don't.
advance?
But
Okay.
but I didn't think the Celtics were going to force a game seven here, and here we are. So, and I'm not
Yeah,
dealing
treat
with
your
it
bets
well.
independently. This sounds like a carryover.
Oh, it is 100%. I'm a terrible
I
gambler.
love it.
I'm betting with my heart. I threw $10 away because the Padres were coming back against the Yankees,
You
and
just had to change the juju. I know.
yeah, yeah. I'm convinced if I didn't put that $10 on plus 700 for the Padres to come back after it was 8-5, I'm convinced the Yankees would have blew the game. So
Yeah, the Yankees have been looking
I
too good.
intervened. They just took 2 out of 3. Come on.
Orioles took 2 out of 3 from them, so that's I'm kind of going back to that because I
Yeah,
was at the game
we'll
on
get to
Thursday.
that. Well,
All right,
we'll gladly get to that.
all right, all
But
right.
I I just want to finish off the series here. I give us what's your prediction here? Do you see the Celtics completing the comeback, or
Yeah,
do you think you do?
yeah, I do. Unfortunately, I think regression to the mean happens. You're the 8th seed. You're not the best team in the playoffs there for a reason because over the course of a season you've proven to be the 8th best team. So I think over the course of a 7 game series things regulate. Jason Tatum's been playing great. Jalen Brown's been playing great. They look for a little bit more from Marcus Smart next game, and I think the Celtics complete it.
But what happened all of a sudden? I mean, everybody in Boston wanted Joe Mazzulla's head. They were already taking the team apart. You know, trading Brown, getting rid of guys, and now all of a sudden, what did Missoula figure out how to coach, or what's the deal? I'm
Well,
just it's just the narrative flips so quickly in sports. It's unbelievable,
well, yeah,
but
you live in New
fairly
York.
so.
You're a Yankee fan, man. The narrative
Yeah.
will be flipped for Aaron Boone and Brian Cashman if the Yankees start winning again.
Oh yeah, it'll flip back and forth. It always does, but I mean, I think the overreaction was silly. I get it. I mean, they went down 3-0 fast, and they were kind of shell shocked. But
Yeah, he pulled the starters very early in that game, game
yeah,
3 or 4, whatever it was. So I
yeah,
think that was kind of
agree.
shocking to a lot of folks. Maybe that spurred some of it, but I think he's redeemed himself. I think he's on the fence if he doesn't win it, but if he completes this comeback, he's totally safe.
Yeah, I'm unfortunately convinced the Celtics are winning Monday night.
Clearly.
Uh, it's likely to happen. What I want to see is Jimmy stepping up and getting going again, and the Heat. Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game. I'd be shocked if the game seven is a blowout either way. If it is a blowout, it'll be Boston. The Heat aren't going to run away with it either way, but keep it tight. Go on a late run like they did Saturday night, and who knows? But I'm unfortunately resigning myself to the fact that Celtics might take it, but we'll know. We'll know soon enough. It's Monday night. It's gonna be fun. I'll probably put some more live bets on the two while watching. But, and then like you said, the Nuggets are waiting. That series starts June 1st, Thursday. Regardless, I again the Nuggets. I think they run away with it no matter who wins. I had Nuggets in five the last series. That's what happened. I think it's Nuggets in five again. I don't think it's competitive, but I don't know. I just
I go Nuggets too. Definitely. I think you're going to have a one big game from Jamal Murray too. You're gonna have a
oh
Jamal
yeah,
Murray game, and it's gonna be fantastic because he missed the past couple playoff runs with the Nuggets, and I think this is gonna be his signature year. Nuggets are gonna win in 5. And Jamal Murray has one big game,
I love it. All right, so we're both
Possible Finals MVP,
all right,
possible.
yeah, we're both Nuggets in five. We don't know for sure who they're playing, but we're pretty convinced that it'll be either way. They'll take care of that. And by our next episode, I think that series will have started. So We can dive deep into game one or two depending on when we record, but I'm looking forward to it. Outside of the NBA, NHL playoffs, the Dallas Stars are watching what Boston's doing and being like, hey, maybe we can pull this off. It's 3-2 now. Two more wins.
Get rid of the
Who knows?
expansion teams. Let's go Dallas. Come on. I'm rooting for them. I think their uniforms are sick. Saw in the other game. But yeah,
A classic,
I'm
classic.
hoping that they come back because the Golden Knights are not classic. So
I'm in on Dallas. I mean, they like you're right. The classic look. They're one of those teams from the '90s that were always good. The '90s, 2000s with Mike Madonna.
yes,
They have that.
I was right on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah,
I was trying to think who the Stars star was back then.
yes, yeah. Big hockey guy, Chris Carey.
It's
We
me.
love we love the
I
Stars.
go way back.
I would love to see them pull it off. That's a comeback that I'm actually rooting for. Like I said, I don't really care for the Knights, and I think Panthers Stars is more of a classic matchup. That's a very like '90s hockey matchup to me. Panthers were good back then. John Van Beesbrook in goal. He
Was
was
that Pavel
and
Bure? Was he on the Panthers?
Beret, yeah, I believe he was. He was on the Canucks for a while. I'm trying to think. Well, if I'm wrong, we'll edit this out. But but
Nice.
that's like NHL '97. John Van Beesbrook on the cover. The Stars Panthers. That's
I'm
like
rooting for the
classic.
Panthers. I hope you're rooting for the Panthers too, regardless.
Yeah, I guess. We'll
It's a good story.
see what the matchup is. It is a good story. Um, I don't necessarily love the Panthers as an Isles fan, but don't hate it. There's no hatred there. I don't think. Schwarber went deep.
Yeah. I think I had that bet a couple days ago for a homer. He's a little late on that, but yeah,
Man,
not much of a game tonight.
those homer bets. Yeah, no, this game was over in the first inning.
Yeah, Matt Olson homer was tremendous. Did you see that?
He's unbelievable. The fact that they replaced Freddie Freeman with a Matt Olson, like just like that,
Yeah.
that was impressive. The Braves are a great organization.
Yeah, the guy he's a huge bat and he swings like Ted Williams and he just cranks it. I love it.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. But yeah, for Sunday night baseball, not ideal. Not what ESPN wanted, probably, but
No,
um,
luckily I have off tomorrow, so they're okay
yeah,
in my book.
yeah, it's okay. We'll be able to watch some baseball and relax on a Monday. So looking forward to that. I don't know if you saw, but Liam Hendriks. They said, we knew that he beat the cancer for now. He's in great shape. He's been on a rehab assignment, and now they announced that Monday he'll be back, and I will be watching for that. I'll probably be emotional. Hendricks is a guy who has been around for a while. He's an emotional pitcher. He did famously at the All Star game was just cursing out the life Mike, thinking he wasn't on, and that was hysterical. But he's fun to watch. The Yankees usually beat him too, so I've always been a Hendricks guy. But
This was my closing note. You stole it here. I'm always
uh,
impressed when somebody overcomes something like that. It's
yeah,
incredible. And for some reason, I always think that they're on like testosterone replacement therapy or whatever. I drafted Jameson Tyone a ton of times after that, but like, it's always impressive to see somebody come back and play at the highest level after one of the most devastating diseases that the human race has ever known. So, Liam Hendricks, cool dude. Love that moment in the All Star game. The guy plays with his heart and
mhm.
just gonna be happy to see him back out there. I got him on two fantasy teams coming back.
Yeah, I've had him in my dynasty. It's just insane to. I was all said like, look, I mean, the guy if he comes back, great. It's not even going to be. We're not even going to be through May by the time he comes back. So he only missed 2 months. It's insane,
Yeah,
insane, and a great story. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of coverage for it Monday night, and I'm very much looking forward to watching that. And the White Sox, actually, I mean, the Central,
look
the AL
decent.
Central is so bad that the Tigers are actually playing really well, and they're a game out behind the Twins. The White Sox 22 and 33, but they're 6-4 in the last 10. They're only 6 out of the division, and they have the talent, I would say, to make a run. Maybe this boosts them. It's going to be interesting to watch.
It's emotional, that's for sure. You see which way it goes. Hopefully, He's kind of the type of personality, the type of guy in a clubhouse that has a tremendous impact. So I think he can totally turn their season around. They just need to stay healthy, man. Eloy just came back. They need Lou Bob to stay healthy. Like Yao Moncada, I don't the guy like he's got a chipped fingernail or something like that. Like they just don't stay healthy.
Those
It's
those
ridiculous.
those guys. I mean, it's been going on for a while. I mean, Eloy's going to be out. He'll play for a couple of weeks. He'll be out again.
Of
Moncada will
course.
maybe come back, and then he'll disappear for a
Stub
little
his
bit.
toe. Yep.
It's insane. And knock on wood, Luis Robert has played all year and has been hot lately. He's an incredibly talented center fielder for
Guy's
the
got a
Hawks.
neck. He's got
He's
a
he's
neck.
one of those thick necks.
Strong dude.
He's
Strong dude
unreal.
that can crank it. Yeah, but he just needs to stay healthy. That's it.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I mean, Dylan Cease kind of got lit up today, and I saw that because I have him in fantasy. I great pitcher, but I don't know if they have the pitching. Lance Lynn's been struggling this year. Who knows? But the fact that we're diving into the AL Central, I didn't expect. But hey, you just roll with it. It's gonna be an interesting division. I think the Twins end up pulling it out, but Correa is gonna have to get healthy and actually perform because he's been pretty rough. But the Twins, I'd say, have the best pitching in the division easily now, which
Yep.
they haven't had in quite some time. Um, and the White Sox might make a run. The Tigers, like I said, they're only 6 out. I don't see them making a run, but that would be fun. I mean, they
It'll be
have enough
fun to
young
see the
talent there.
Tigers when they finally get that young talent like Scooble, like Casey Mize, like those pitchers off the IL. That'd be great. I mean, Riley Green looks like he's everything and a bag of chips. And Spencer Torkelson was like I mean, dude
Yeah,
was a top prospect. If he can come around, nice little post hype sleeper
yeah,
coming in next season. But
yeah. He's really
um,
struggled though.
they got a base, but they got a base there in Detroit. I mean, outside of you know, guys like Javi Baez. There's some young guys coming into the
Yeah,
system there that are pretty
yeah.
good.
And you send
Guardians
them
always
mid-year
have the
off. Yeah,
pitching.
yeah.
Guardians always have the pitching.
They have
Minnesota
to.
has the role players though, and that's why I think that they win. Guys like Kirilloff, Larnack, I know Miranda's down, but like they have guys that they can mix and matches in a lot of places. Jorge Polanco played short and second. Like they've just got a good lineup, and they win their games like 3-1, like 2-1. Like and those games bug the crap out of me, but they can do it because their lineup and their bullpen is decent. So I mean, we'll
Joey
see if
Gallo.
we'll see.
Something
Joey
else.
Gallo, the man who is so pumped there's no more shift. I'm sure,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, he's bumped his average up, I think,
It's over
around 2.
200.
Is it?
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah,
It's 207. Wow,
yeah.
that's
Look at that.
crushing. That's unbelievable for Joey. While we talk about the shift, I mean, if you look at the shift, whatever he predicted, Joey Gallo been playing better. Anthony Rizzo hitting over
Yep,
300, having an MVP caliber season.
for sure.
Cody Bellinger, before he got hurt, was on fire. These lefties who have
He's got
been
300
just
average too.
yeah, I mean, these guys just been crushed by the shift for a couple of years. It was like, oh, you're probably exaggerating, strong. No, it's pretty clear. And watching Rizzo, every game, I've seen him get hits on the right through the right side that are out right into the you know fourth outfielder or whatever they used to have. That while we've talked about all the changes, I think that's been the best one
Yeah,
by far.
100%. I wish Chris Davis could unretire.
Good. I mean, the Orioles are paying him for how long? You might as well maybe get something
Until he's
out of
about
it.
60. Yeah, I think he's got one of those whatchamacallit contracts
The
that the
Bobby
Mets give
Bonilla
out. The
contract.
Bobby Bo, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, O's were paying
His is
Bobby
worse
Bo
than
250.
Bonilla's.
Yeah, it's yeah. Dude, that was brutal. I mean, think about that team for one second. Adam Jones, Manny Machado, and Chris Davis. You choose
Uh-oh.
to pay Chris Davis, and
Uh-oh.
then you get rid of Buck Showalter. Come on, whose fault is that? That's Dan Duquette's fault. That's the front office's fault. That's ownership's fault. That's not Buck's fault. But Buck leaves, and when Buck leaves a team, they win the World Series. So thank you for leaving, Buck. But yeah, it is
It
what it
does
is.
happen. It does
I
happen.
just paid the wrong guy. I just wish he could unretire, though. I would love a little bit more Chris Davis in my life. Post shift Chris Davis.
I mean, wouldn't we all?
Yeah.
Wouldn't we all? It's the Orioles are impressive. Unfortunately, you guys took 2 out of 3 in the Bronx. I mean that series, Yankees won the first game, and the second game they were up big, and then all of a sudden the Orioles just exploded. Was that like 8 run
So
inning or 10 run inning?
Nah,
It
I
was
think it was 9.
9.
I saw 9 in the 7th. I know it
I
was.
turned it off at, like, the 6th, 7th run. I was just I
I don't
couldn't
think you
watch
were
it anymore.
alone. But then the Yankees came back and scored in that inning. So I think the total runs in that inning was over 12. But
Yeah,
yeah, it was a big shift in momentum in the series. After losing the first game, we really needed that. We really needed that because that Judge homer off of our boy the Mountain Felix Bautista, that hurt. That
was big.
stung.
I mean, and
Yeah,
I thought, and the Yankees have recovered a bit, but I thought that
for
after
sure.
that home run, they were gonna just take off and maybe sweep the O's.
I thought it was gonna be a turning
Um,
point too.
yeah, but then all of a sudden, and it was looking like that the Yankees were up big, and then all of a sudden the Orioles just turned it on. They crushed most of the Yankees' worst pitchers, and but it had. And then Game 3 was what 3-1 final. It was kind of dead. The Yankees didn't score a run until the ninth, um, and a Willie Calhoun double.
Who?
But yeah, exactly,
Who?
exactly.
Willie
It's
Calhoun, Jake Bowers. Who else is in this lineup? Like,
there's
come
a
on.
there's a bunch of guys that just shouldn't be on the team, and some of it's injuries. I mean, two of those guys are
It's
going
not
to
your
be
father's
gone.
Yankees.
It's not my father's Yankees. Two. I mean, two of these guys are going to be gone soon. I think Bowers is gone first. He really hasn't performed at all. When Stanton comes back, and then Donaldson comes back, I think they might send down Oswaldo Cabrera. I think they're going to keep Calhoun because
IKF.
They like him as a bench bat, and then IKF has pushed his way into maybe potentially being the starting left fielder now. He just had a nice series against the Padres, had the walk off, and then had another couple hits today. It's He's much less of a detriment to the team when he's not at shortstop. He couldn't
Right.
play shortstop. He was a former catcher, third baseman, won a Gold Glove at third, and moved to short. Just couldn't cut it, and the Yankees just were too stubborn to make the move until in the playoffs, like playoff series. Like, okay, we need a new shortstop, and it's like it was too little, too late there. But he's doing okay in left, surprisingly enough, guys. So I think he's going to stick around. Uh, but we do get the Yankees do get Stanton, Donaldson, Tommy Canley, and um, somebody else. I forget. There's so many injuries, but they're getting healthy right now.
Let me ask you this: would you prefer Donaldson or IKF at third?
Well, at third, I'd prefer LeMahieu. My ideal setup is LeMahieu,
So option
Volpe.
C.
Yeah,
Nice.
option C. I'm good at that. I'll ignore your options and show you option C.
Okay.
The LeMahieu.
I'd rather have
Um,
LeMahieu too.
yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
know he was an option though. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I think they're looking at IKF as primarily outfield, some little bit of speed off the bench. Even though they got Greg Allen, who's a nice pinch runner, he's already made an impact, and not a terrible hitter either or outfielder. But IKF has been playing in left, yeah. And Greg Allen,
Greg Allen.
he was the final nail in the Aaron Hicks coffin. That was a long.
Greg Allen. We're talking about Greg Allen on the
Oh yeah.
Yankees.
Oh yeah, it's
Okay.
yeah. He's a Yankee fan favorite right now because finally got rid of Aaron Hicks, who unfortunately just completely fell off a cliff the last couple of years. But I won't get into that because that'll be a whole 30-minute diatribe.
Yeah.
But
Well, maybe
yeah,
we'll do a sports class special on that one.
yeah. I'm looking forward to that. But
30 minutes of you ranting.
yeah, but yeah, your O's are looking very good.
Let's
I I
go.
I still I think they make the playoffs over the Blue Jays. They have a better, more consistent offense, a better bullpen. The starting pitching is obviously right now as constructed need some work, but they can fix that.
What I love is they sent down Gray Rod. I love Gray Rod. Great, probably top three prospect in baseball. Needs a little bit more time down there, but it just shows me as a fan of a team that's been so used to losing. Now every win matters and every game matters, and I'm excited that they did that because I think Gray Rod is the truth. I think he's going to be great. I think he's going to be fantastic going forward. But you can't have games where you're giving up 6 runs because the Orioles can score 5 every game. They can score 4 every game, but you just can't have those six run games from a starter because starters pitch even less and less and less nowadays. To be doing that is just detrimental to the team, and it can kill like some streaks that we have. So clearly, there's an onus on each game matters now, and I'm pumped about that. We do get Means back soon. It's almost like a deadline acquisition. Hopefully, he's the same guy. Hopefully Tyler Wells keeps it up. Hopefully Kyle Gibson can channel Jordan Lyles and be that guy
Yeah.
to kind of anchor the rotation. Have a 4 ERA. That's all we need from him. That's all we need from him. But outside of that, that's really the starting pitching. You're right. That's the linchpin.
Yep.
That's what
Yep.
happens. They could score with anyone. Bullpen's incredible. I just really hope we don't have that midsummer fall off that we've had pretty much every year I've known them. There's just some sort of streak that happens after the All-Star break. They lose 7. They get swept twice. Something like that happens that just kills their momentum year over year. So I think this year's different. Um,
Not since Adley's
but
been
we'll
called
see.
up. Since he's been called up, the
The
Adley
Adley
effect.
effect.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm a fan. He's really fun to watch. As
Yeah.
much as I don't like when he crushes us, which he has this season. He's a great catcher, great behind the plate, and unlike some Orioles catchers in the past that might live up to the offensive hype, it's looking like that's the case. And you're even not getting anything from Gunnar Henderson yet,
Nothing. We
but
get nothing from him.
I mean
Holy.
that's the fact that Gunnar Henderson is like the third guy that you're expecting from. I mean, Mountcastle in the middle of the lineup is look great. Nobody talks about him, but
Nope.
he's
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 an
another
RBI
one.
machine, low
Yeah.
average RBI machine though. So I love Mountcastle. Mountcastle's been in the system though before this regime came. Same thing with Mullins. Same thing with Hayes. So like these are some leftovers, and we still have the number one system. I mean, we still got guys like Colton Cowser down there, Heston Kjerstad, uh, Jordan Westberg. Ton of talent
So,
ready to come up.
sounds like that's not the only thing ready to come up right now.
Right. Back to you, Rich.
I, I think you see them trade maybe Tony Taters and one of those. I think one of those prospects has to go, and you can get an ace. I mean, like you said, the Orioles when you suck for like 20 years, you compile a lot of top draft picks. So now they're reaping the rewards.
Yeah, there you go. That is so true. It's so true, but that's what the Astros were, and look at the Astros. Nobody can beat the
Yeah,
Astros now.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
they also came up with the most heinous cheating scandal since the Black Sox, but you know, I think that
Banging on a
helped a little
trash
bit.
can,
I think that
drumming on a
helped a
street
little bit.
light.
So one more thing in baseball I did want to talk about, and this Yankees related, but not specifically about
Of
them.
course it is.
Uh, you know, but Fernando Tatis came to the Bronx and got the steroid chants, which I think was stupid. I mean, when this series started, it wasn't even in my head to like if I was at the game, I wasn't gonna just chant steroids at Fernando Tatis. I mean, the kid's he's great to watch. He's an incredibly talented player, but it looks like it pissed him off. And he goes yard in game one. Padres cruise in that first game. He's getting at it with the fans. You see him like dancing, conducting the fans. It was to their steroids chants. It was impressive. He's a great player, and I mean they were still chanting steroids into the finale on Sunday. Again, I mean the Yankees have had guys like A Rod. It's unfortunately the case. There's no holier than thou thing here, unless it comes to the Astros. They can fuck off.
Well, our
But
Houston viewership is going through the roof right now.
it probably is because they'll probably find this and want to go into this whole thing. But you do the same thing. But,
Yeah, don't piss off Tatis, but I love it, dude. I am not like the biggest fan of his, but like there's no reason to do that. And I
no,
love that he's able to respond like that. I love that he responds without getting pissed off or flipping the bird or doing anything stupid. Like, just almost mocking the fans as they're mocking him. Like, it is what it is. Like, you know what? The guy's going to have a long career. If if you want to do that for the rest of his career, that's some commitment, Yankee fans. But he didn't do anything to you guys, but he'll
No,
continue to do things to you if you continue to do things to him. So, I mean, he, I mean, the dude's electric, dude. I mean, he's electric.
he
I've never
is.
loved bat flips more than watching Fernando Tatis and Ronald
Yeah,
Acuna.
yeah.
Like, it's fun to see. It's fun to see.
But I will say I do think he bat flipped, Soto bat flip that kind of stuck it to the Yanks in the first game, and
Yeah, watch out.
I think the Yankees saw that and said okay because
They'll remember it.
they
Boone will
responded.
remember it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But Bruno will remember it if he's still in the game if he hasn't been ejected yet. Guy's getting kicked out in like the first inning of every
Dude's
game
got a
now.
pacemaker. Calm down, buddy. Come
Yeah, I
on.
know.
Oof.
Boone. He
You're
was even
50, 56? What, how old are you? What? Oh,
yeah, the guy's he's a little nuts. He's gonna calm it down. But it's funny. Everybody's like, "Oh, we don't want robo umps. We want ejections." I get it. It's fun, but I also would like strikes to be strikes and balls to be balls.
you mentioned it before too. There's technology in the dugout. He's able to see balls and strikes. If I'm a manager and I see that an ump sucks within the first 4 innings and is like clearly calling this one strike a ball and this one
Yeah,
ball a strike, I'd be pissed too. But you got to
yeah,
kind of take
yeah,
it for what it is and be like, all right, it's nice that I got this iPad, but that dude needs to do his job and I need to do my job and make sure I'm in the game, that my team's there and I'm there to lead them or whatever. You can't get pissed off about balls and strikes. It's the longest running thing in baseball. Just you can't argue balls and strikes. You just can't do it. You get the scorecards, let those speak for themselves now.
yeah. Problem is they speak for themselves, but MLB doesn't do anything about it.
Once you get
Man,
enough of them, once you get enough Angel Hernandez scorecards in there, they'll do something
yeah,
about it. It's just this just started. Just wait, maybe 5 years, they'll realize, hey, this guy really sucks. Maybe let's kick him out of the league. The umpires union might not be as strong as it used to be.
well, I mean, I'd love to see that day because
Yeah,
they
right.
just
It's
that's
like
one hell
Oz.
of a deal they got where they don't have to answer any questions about anything. There no accountability whatsoever. And there's some ups that take the accountability and they will speak and they will say, "Hey, I missed that call," and they're
Right.
humans. I get it. As long as you're not Angel Hernandez and awful all the time,
Ego. Ego. Well, that's what it comes down to with him.
that's when because nobody. It's the old adage, nobody came to the park to see the umps. You don't they're and they think they run the game,
Yep.
and in a sense, maybe they do, but they're not the ultimate answer on the field. I mean, and it should never ever be about them because they're not the ones getting paid millions because of fan interests, and they don't run the game. You could take them out. You could take the umps out of the game right now. I honestly think it would be a seamless transition.
Yeah.
Angel Hernandez, Las Diaz is another one. He's got the ego. There's
The
oh
poor guy that messed up
CB
the.
Buckner. CB
Oh
Buckner.
no!
He's
Oh
he's maybe the biggest clown of all.
yeah. Oh,
And he's one of those ego guys where he looks like if a manager
stares
yells at him,
down
he
people.
stares him down. Oh,
Oh,
it's terrible. It's
come on.
terrible. But
Yeah.
those are the guys that I remember their names because they're terrible. I couldn't tell you. There's some umps that every now and then some news outlet will be like, oh, John Schmidhead here is actually 99% correct on balls and strikes this season. Like, oh, great. Give me some more John Schmidhead or whatever I named him. I mean,
John
I
Schmidt.
don't want I don't want to know your name. I want that guy who's doing his job correctly and
Hell yeah.
everybody can respect, and then that's it.
I agree. I completely agree. It's not about you. You're not.
Well, it's Monday and it's time for another rendition of everybody's favorite segment, the good, the bad, and the shitty. We'll each have our good, bad, and shitty for the week. And Chris, let's start it off. Who's your good?
My good. You ready for this?
Oh,
My
I'm ready.
good is Mackenzie Gore. Mackenzie Gore is a very good pitcher. Mackenzie Gore was a very good prospect, and Mackenzie Gore is now a very good pro. He stumbled a little bit against in his revenge game against the Padres a couple starts ago, but on today 11 Ks, 1 earned run. I know it was Kansas City, but the dude's got a sub 4 ERA. He's like 23 years old. He's got all the potential in the world. So Mackenzie Gore on a terrible team is putting up numbers, and he's my good. Who's your good?
That was a good call. He was part of the Soto trade, I believe.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. And at least they
There were
got
a lot of
something
names.
for him.
Well, there were a couple names in there. I mean, they did get a lot from him, and Soto hasn't been
Ruiz,
incredible for
Hebert.
them. Yeah, yeah. Well, he's gone, right? But that's some trade. Am I good? I'm going with my guy, Aaron Judge.
No. Oh,
When you're the reigning AL MVP, the reigning American League home run champ, all time record, he was out for a while, came back. He's now played 17 games in May. He's got 8 home runs, 19 RBIs, a 1.230 OPS in those 17 games since he's come back. He's up to 15 home runs on the year, which again leads the American League. Pete Alonso has the lead in the league majors. I think he's at 20 now. But I mean, if Judge's injury proved anything, it's that the Yankees absolutely need him to be absolutely to be Aaron Judge again, to be the MVP again in order to do anything. Because if he struggles, he slumps, or he gets hurt, this team is not good after that. And you'll be the first to agree with me there, I'm sure.
yep, definitely. And he's a good. You're right. He's a good. That was probably the
Hey,
most obvious one you could throw out there.
yeah. Well, I didn't miss a chance to shout out my captain. So
Oh, God, that hurt. Oh, Yankee captain is such an important job.
it is. I mean,
Sure,
come on,
sure.
don't make me list them off. Save the audience now.
Yes,
Who's your
please,
dad?
please save us. Mark Messier. Anywho, my bad. I hate to do this, but my bad is Gray Rod.
Yeah.
It's Gray Rod.
Wasn't he my
One of
bad last week? I was
he
ahead of the
was.
game.
Oh shoot, was he? Damn it! This is the face of realization that I'm backing you up right now. Oh, ouch. Ooh, that hurts. But yeah, man, strikeout potential just dripping, but he cannot keep runs from crossing the plate. So, like I said earlier in the show, happy he's gone down for a little bit more seasoning. I know Hall needed that. Grayrod still, I think, is one of the best pitching prospects in baseball. I think he's going to be great for a long, long time, but not his year just yet. Let's wait till August, September. Give him a little bit of time down at the minors. Maybe save some innings on the arm too. But right now, Grayrod, he killed my fantasy team, bro. Come on. Oh, so
Yeah,
that's my
yeah.
bet. Who's
Killed
yours?
my fantasy team too because of you. But it's okay. We're gonna hold on to him.
I'm a
And
good salesman.
to be fair, I
To be
agreed with you.
fair,
I agreed with you on Gray Rod, and we spent a lot of our fam on that. But
yeah, we did.
we'll hold on to him. So you're going baseball. I'm going back to basketball for the bad, and my bad is my good from last week. My bad is Jimmy Butler. Jimmy, Hammy, where are you? I need you. I really need you, Jimmy. I can't have Boston. Well, I'm already seeing 2003 Yankee Red Sox 2004, sorry, Yankee Red Sox highlights
They mentioned it in Sunday Night Baseball too.
yeah, like I don't need us catching strays here for what the Celtics are doing to the Heat. And Jimmy, I need you. I need you. You knocked my team out. And then I was like, all right, that's fine. Lesser of two evils. Go beat Boston. It looked like you were. I was lauding you, and then 5 for 21. I mean, awful shooting night. You got to step it up. Game 7, the Heat are not going to win if you don't go off.
If there's ever a time to play off Jimmy, now's the time to play off Jimmy, right?
Don't be a bad.
Don't be a bad.
I know you're
That's
not a
Rich's
bad.
bad. Ooh, Jimmy Butler's a. Aaron Judge is a good. Jimmy Butler's a. This is. I'm very intrigued by your good, bad, and shitty right now.
I mean, best player in baseball, and then a guy who went 0 for 3 in the playoff games this week.
Mm. Well, I am going to get off the baseball kick because my good and bad were both baseball players, and I'm going to go to basketball too. And guess who's my shitty? Take a guess. Basketball. Who's my shitty?
Shit. I don't know.
Duncan Robinson. What are you doing making those shots? What are you doing? You're Duncan Robinson. Come on. Nobody
Great
wants to see
shooter.
Duncan Robinson win the game, though. It's not happening. It wasn't happening. It's not happening. It hasn't happened. And it's never going to happen. Why do you take those two shots? One, fine, great. Otherwise, get the ball into Jimmy Butler's hands. Even though
Yeah.
he's been rich as bad, he's also been probably the goodest good that has been in the playoffs right now. Duncan Robinson, bro, pass the ball, dude.
Pass the ball,
Not what you
Duncan.
need to be doing.
No.
Not in. It's just yeah, you're a shitty.
Yes. I agree with you there. And I think you agree with me because we need Jimmy Butler to not be a bad. And that entails Duncan Robinson not taking all these super shots, getting the ball to
Shitty.
Jimmy. So I'm all for it. And my shitty of the week to cap us off is a guy we praised last week. That is the Cinderella man, Michael Block. After his stunning performance at the PGA Championship, he was everybody's darling. It started to wear off a little bit. He started to talk a little bit more, and people realized Michael Block may not be a great dude. Well, okay, I won't go that far. He hasn't said anything terrible,
Yeah, hot
but
take.
he said some very cocky things for a guy who's supposed to be, this lovable Cinderella story. His most recent comment was talking about Rory, saying that he shoots a lot longer than him, and they're like, "Well, how much of a difference would that make?" He said, what I would shoot from where Rory hits would be stupid. I think I'd be one of the best players in the world. So calling himself, saying, if I just had a little more length, I'd be better than Rory. I'd be one of the best in the world. You followed up a great weekend by missing the cut at the Schwab Challenge. I mean, clearly you've fallen off. It's not about length. I mean, dude, have some awareness. Like just keep quiet. Appreciate what you did. People will
Michael
still like you.
Blockhead. Michael Blockhead. What a big head, big ego moment, dude. Holy goodness. Yeah. I mean, we were out on the golf course and I was saying some things about hitting holes in ones and you were like, you sound like a Michael Block right now. I had no idea what that meant, but yeah. Doesn't seem like that likable of a guy, and I was loving his story because it was taken away from Brooks Koepka the other week, but also one of my most unlikable guys. Don't know why, just don't like him. But yeah, I can agree with you on the Michael Block thing there. Unfortunately, it's not always all it's cracked up to be in the media. It can be a story, and it can just not. It can just be that, just a story.
Just a
So
story, and that's what
yeah,
it was, and props
went
to
on a
them.
little too long.
That hole in one that you tried to replicate, this weekend and came up a little short, or a little long, actually,
That's right.
speaking of too much length,
Hmm.
but I mean, it was incredible, it was fun to watch, but you dude, just, nobody's gonna talk about you anymore, you've proven that you're not consistent enough to be up there, like, enjoy the moment, and maybe
Right.
maybe don't talk about why you're not the greatest ever.
It's
Just
probably
one
your
little tweak
skills.
here, and I would have been.
Yeah.
Give me a little bit more distance on my drive, a little bit more accuracy on my putting, better shooting on my irons, and hell, I'd be the best player in the world.
Amen. You're right. You are so right. How are you going to make that comparison? If I drove like Rory, if anybody drove like Rory, they'd be pretty good,
Yeah,
just like Rory, but
yeah. There's
you
a
don't.
reason they don't.
Exactly. So that's not your equipment. It's not because you got Costco clubs like me.
Dude, got to step up your game. I at least got the Dick's starter set.
Yeah, Dick's Sporting Goods, Costco.
it's
Yeah,
it's a, it's a level.
yeah,
We all,
exactly.
we all can't be as good as I am. You'll get there one day.
In your defense, they only offer one or two sets of lefty clubs everywhere you go. So
Yeah, God forbid there's lefties in the world.
I just
Yeah.
defended you. I can't believe I just defended you.
Nah, I love it.
Yeah, that's the worst.
It's just it eventually shines through where you know that I'm just a great guy and you'll support me in the end.
Touche. All right.
Well,
Well,
well, Chris, I hope next time we talk in the sports clash that we're celebrating a Heat win. My finals bet gets voided. Boston gets shut up. I'm feeling it. Chris, you got anything to close us out?
Yeah, I do. We were watching soccer this morning, and
Football.
it's kind of shocking to me. Yeah, sorry, football for our friends across the pond. Kind of shocking to me, a team like Leicester City getting relegated. What was it, 7 years after winning the Premier League? You fall all the way to the basement and all the way out of the league that you won. That's just, to me, a serious fall from grace, and probably something that I don't understand the business of soccer. It's way above my pay grade. It just doesn't seem right. I think I questioned you, and I was like, "Hey, is it for real? Leicester City? Didn't they just what? Yep. Lo and behold, yeah, they're gone." And it just seems like it was a pretty quick hook and a pretty quick exit stage relegation for Leicester City. So be better.
It even cements it as just one of the wildest stories ever that they came out of nowhere, won the league, led by Englishman Jamie Vardy, who was just scoring goals left and right. It was crazy, crazy season, and I enjoyed it because it meant that Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City, they weren't winning, and Tottenham was actually. I remember that they were kind of near the top of the league at one point there, but they won that, and then the next year they fire the manager Ranieri. I mean, these Premier League teams, they just don't like keeping managers. Either
Scapegoat.
even the greatest, you see them stay there like 6 years or so, and then they're gone. Even if they win every year, they'll just still find fault in everyone. But
Yeah.
it's a fall from grace, that's for sure. And hey, sucks to suck.
Also, lacrosse national championship tomorrow. Let's go.
And I
Monday.
was talking lacrosse.
Notre Dame Duke. Let's go Notre Dame. Beat
I'm
Duke.
ready. I know I'll be watching. All right, man. Always a pleasure. Thanks everybody for listening. Have a great week.
See ya.